Hi everyone, my name is Russell Caletena, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about 5 tips on how to make your resume stand out to recruiters. And before we get into the tips, I just wanted to preface that I'm not a professional resume writer nor a technical recruiter, but these tips are based on my previous experiences at tech companies including Texas Instruments, Microsoft, Keysight Technologies, and Amazon. So if you're curious on what intern's first day at Microsoft might look like, feel free to check out my previous video, and a link to that will be down below. I also wanted to mention that I'll be offering to review your resume for free, and all you have to do is submit your resume in PDF form. So basically details on how to and where to submit will be mentioned later in the video, and also in the video description down below. So with that, let's get into the 5 tips on how to make your resume stand out. So the first tip is measure twice, cut once. You only have one time to make a good first impression, and the best way to stand out is to have correct grammar, spelling, and punctuation. So take the extra 5 to 10 minutes to review each section of your resume before applying to companies that you're interested in. This short amount of time can mean the difference between a company dismissing your resume because of any grammatical errors, or moving forward with the application process and contacting you for an interview. I strongly believe that the goal of a resume is to get an interview, and the goal of an interview is to get the offer. So make sure that you make a first good impression to help you get that interview. So tip number 2 is optimize for the golden third. So the golden third refers to the top third of your resume when folded into 3 equal sections. According to a study done by The Ladders, which is an online job matching service, the average time a recruiter spends reading or looking at your resume is only 6 seconds. 6 seconds, which is actually pretty quick. And like I've mentioned, the goal of a resume is to concisely showcase your experience to get an interview. And the main goal of the golden third or top third of your resume is to catch the eye of the recruiter. And if the employer is interested, they'll continue reading down your resume. So as an exercise, I encourage you to physically print out your resume, fold it into thirds, and see which info is in this golden third section. You may be surprised on what info is included and what info isn't. So the main takeaway here is try to optimize your resume for the job description in this golden third section of your resume in order to attract the attention and eye of the recruiter or whoever is looking at your resume. So tip number 3 is check your resume's ATS readability. So ATS stands for Applicant Tracking System. Companies use applicant tracking systems on candidates' resumes to initially screen and parse the resume to check for keywords that match the job description. Keep in mind that each company's parsing system may be different, but there's many resources out there for you to check out your resume's readability before you submit your resume online. So a question you might be asking is, so how can I check my resume's readability? So for me, I use a website called Resume Worded, which is an AI-powered platform that instantly gives you tailored feedback on your resume and was designed by top recruiters that led to 5 times more interviews, opportunities, and job offers for those who've used the platform. So if you go to bit.ly/rc-resumeworded, you can get started by creating an account and submitting your resume for instant feedback on your resume's readability. The link will also be in the video description below for you to check out. Also, bonus tip, when designing your resume, avoid using tables with invisible borders, as the ATS might unintentionally reduce your score for a table that it can't parse correctly and may rule out your resume on the initial screening process, so just be careful of that. Tip number 4 is use strong action verbs. Use strong action verbs that clearly convey what you accomplished. For example, if you're part of a leadership club on campus and you use the word led on your resume, you can potentially replace that with managed or directed. And if you're a programmer or an electrical engineer and you created either a website or a particular circuit that did something, you can use the word created or designed in your resume instead of the word made. So also avoid using duplicate verbs in your resume. So if there's the same verb in the experience section or in your projects, just make sure that you can swap that out with different synonyms or choose a different word in general. So another helpful resource is Indeed.com. They basically wrote an article on a list of 195 different action verbs to help your resume stand out. And this list includes various scenarios for showcasing your accomplishments, leadership and management, responsibilities, and so on. So if you haven't checked it out already, I highly recommend it to ensure your resume has stronger action verbs than it did before. So tip number 5 is be meticulous with naming convention. So whether you're using Microsoft Word, Google Docs, Adobe Illustrator, or Adobe InDesign, or any other platform to create your resume, the file name is also really, really important. I've personally done this, and I've seen many of my friends do it when I reviewed their resumes, and I highly encourage you to be intentional with how you name your resume and also any files that you submit to a company. For example, you can give your resume a more intuitive name that includes last name, underscore first name, underscore company, underscore position, underscore year.pdf, which stands out a lot more than just resume.pdf or company name resume.pdf. It's also about the small things that you do that can help your resume stand out by making the recruiter's job easier. So whether you're creating your resume for the first time or looking to touch up your resume for internship or full-time applications during this recruiting season, I hope that these tips were helpful for you. So as mentioned in the beginning of the video, you can submit your resume at bit.ly/rc-resume Dropbox, which is a Google form where you can fill out your name, your email, and upload your resume. And the plan is to get back to you within 48 hours. And my hope is to be a second pair of eyes for you to help you achieve what you want to in the next step of your career. And with that, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions on what I covered in this video or suggestions on what I should cover in a future video, feel free to comment down below. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.